Marketing cantaloupes of the highest safety and quality is in the best interest of all parties involved in the melon industry. Unfortunately, recurring outbreaks associated with imported cantaloupes have eroded consumer confidence in the safety of melon production throughout the United States. In many minds, the words cantaloupe and salmonella have become forever linked. In the wake of these outbreaks, many buyers are insisting on a chlorine wash at packing. Some buyers mistakenly believe that field packing melons is inherently dangerous for the consumer. Pressure has been applied to get shippers to convert from a field pack to a simple wash line or a full shed pack method of handling. However, research has shown that the solution to safety concerns is not that simple. There is no evidence to indicate that shed packing is any safer than conscientious field packing under current California conditions. Furthermore, research surveys conducted across the United States and parts of Mexico have documented that typical wash line and shed handling may result in a higher risk of cross-contamination. Recognizing this concern, the only true shed pack operation in California has maintained a comprehensive food safety program for several years, verified by highly respected independent auditors. In order to appreciate the subtleties of the issue at hand, it is important to understand the two methods of packing currently employed in California: field packing and shed packing. Although California was originally a shed pack industry, its arid environment has allowed the development of harvest and handling practices which have evolved into a system dominated by field packing. Field packing is the direct placement of fruit into the final shipping unit or container from a mobile platform. Under this system, melons are typically packaged with other melons from the same narrow section of the field. After placement in a box, cartons are closed and stacked on a pallet in the field and taken to facilities for air cooling before shipping. In contrast, wash line and shed packers bring melons into the packing facility in cartons, bins, or trailers. This method typically mixes cantaloupes from one part of the field with cantaloupes from other parts of the field. In areas outside of California, melons from entirely different fields may end up being commingled. The cantaloupes are staged in a holding area and then unloaded onto slanted platforms. Melons move up a conveyor where they are brushed and sprayed with a disinfecting water solution. Outside of California, melons may be unloaded into flotation tanks, transported in water flumes, brushed and rinsed, and finally cooled. Because California cantaloupes are already relatively clean, California packers may use a dry brush method of shed packing, followed by a disinfectant spray. It is important to remember that California cantaloupes, whether shed-packed or field-packed, are grown using standardized principles of good agricultural practices, otherwise known as GAPs, a set of voluntary steps taken by the industry to ensure safe melon production and handling. Scientifically speaking, neither method of California packing can be said to be safer than the other when proper management techniques are practiced. There are significant pros and cons involved in both shed packing and field packing. One benefit of shed packing is that it offers each cantaloupe a quick surface wash before shipping. When combined with brushing, this disinfectant wash can reduce the risk of cross-contamination. The primary reason for using chlorine or other water treatments is to minimize the risk of cross-contamination. Ironically, a centralized shed pack facility has the potential to cause the type of cross-contamination that it is trying to prevent in the first place. This risk is the result of the introduction of water into the handling and packing process. In the rare case of contamination, packing operations using water are more likely to spread pathogens or even cause pathogens to get into natural openings in the fruit. One contaminated cantaloupe is enough to spread disease to several others in a short amount of time. Based on research and pathogen survey data, we recognize that shed packing operations may be difficult to manage well on a day-to-day basis. The major benefit of field packing in California is the direct placement of cantaloupes into cartons, which greatly limits the potential for cross-contamination. When field packed, cantaloupes from a highly localized area of a farm are placed into their final containers in the fields and then moved into the cooling facilities. Therefore, in the rare case of contamination, a dry field-packed cantaloupe would only be likely to spread pathogens to its nearest neighbor within its own carton. If contamination during production or harvest were to occur, the spread of pathogens would be substantially contained. No documented occurrence of pathogen contamination has ever been reported from California cantaloupes. As with any packing operation, cleaning and sanitizing all melon contact surfaces on mobile platforms is important. Full attention to worker hygiene and field sanitation is equally vital. The downside of this method is that field packing cannot take advantage of the benefits of a surface cleaning and disinfectant wash. Yet our research has shown that proper washing and handling of the fruit right before food preparation will maintain the safety of any California cantaloupe, whether field packed or shed packed.